Good. Moving on to Panorama. Oh, it's Panorama, but it just doesn't come out right when I say it.
Panorama.
Panorama. That sounds weird to you, right?
Yeah. We try to say it both ways, Panorama or Panorama.
Panorama. Okay, so thank you everybody once again for joining this Canada Specialist Program webinar. Jamie and Ali from Panorama Resort, please take it away.
Well, first of all, welcome and thank you so much for attending. We really appreciate you taking the time out of your busy day to learn a little bit more about Panorama. And, on this first slide, I just wanted to first say, my name is Jamie Hirschler. I've been on the sales and marketing team at Panorama for 10 years. And before that, I was on the operations team. So a total of 20 years on the resort.
My name's Ali. Hi, everyone. I'm currently working with sales and marketing. In the wintertime, I'm the ski and ride manager. I actually just started in November, but have a big background of the snow sports industry from before. Super excited to be here and work here.
Great. Thanks, Ali.
Thank you.
So on this first slide, you can see that, right from the summit of the mountain, which is just up over here, all the way down to the villagers, there's skiing and riding for all abilities. And it's about 1,200 vertical meters from the top to the bottom. And once you come down to the village, it's a very much an intimate village and very, very well contained. In this photo as well, you'll also see the Panorama Springs pools, which are the largest slopeside hot pools in Canada, right out the door and right beside the slope. So after a day on the slopes, it's great to come in and relax in the Panorama Springs pools. Most of our guests traveling from Australia and New Zealand will fly into San Francisco or LAX. But there's also another great option to fly directly into Vancouver. And to do so, you wouldn't have to deal with immigration and security reasons in the United States. So that's a great option to come directly into Vancouver and then fly over from there into Calgary. And we're about 3.5 hours southwest from Calgary, right through Banff National Park and right past Lake Louise and over to Panorama. Panorama is top 5 reasons for coming. It's the most complete ski in, ski out village in the Canadian Rockies. Where we're located, we're right in the heart of the Columbia Valley and right in the Canadian Rockies with Rocky Mountain views all around the resort. It's pure Canada. Back roads, but not backwoods. Right from the top of our mountain, everywhere on our mountain is cell phone coverage. There's free Wi-Fi throughout the entire village. It takes a little bit longer to get here, and we're at the end of a canyon, but it kind of gets you away from that city vibe and has a really interesting appeal to the resort itself, as you can see most of the village in this particular picture. There's huge terrain with long trails for all abilities and a lot of really good fall line cruising runs, and then steeper and deeper stuff over the backside of the mountain. There's no lift lines at Panorama. The 2 busiest periods, there's one right around New Year's and the other time in February, around February 15th for Family Day holiday in Canada. But really, when you look at Panorama, at the most, even at those periods, maybe 10 minutes of a lift line, there's nearly 3,000 acres of terrain. And on those busy days, we're only about between 3,000 and 4,000 skier visits. So if you can think of an acre per person, you can really understand the scope and the size of Panorama. It's also a village and a community. So there's full-time year-round residents that live on the resort in some of the homes in the village as well. And it's really got an interesting vibe because of that and because of, being contained and being in this little kind of remote BC wilderness area. Panorama, again, was ranked #1 in the world by an independent consulting company out of Germany. It won this in 2019, 20, and 2020, 21. Again, so much elbow room and space around for when you're skiing. You'll be skiing an epic fall line ridgetop run, and you might have your friend behind you on your tails, and all you're hearing is hooting and hollering in the background from around the slopes. But there's no one else in sight on some particular runs, and some days it's pretty amazing to have that experience. And this just shows and illustrates a little bit more of the resort. And this is the front side of the mountain and showing the village. And in the very foreground here, you'll see this is where the heli skiing happens at RK Heli Ski. But this is really only 1/3 of the mountain. Over the back side of the mountain off the summit is our steep and deep and Taten Bowl and our monstrous terrain. And then over to the looker's right-hand side of the screen, just coming off the screen is our Sun Bowl area, and is an incredible area for intermediate skiers to get a little bit of that powder experience, but maybe not steep and deep. Ali's going to tell you a little bit more about skiing.
Thanks, Jamie. Well, I just love this photo. What a panoramic view, right? We definitely live up to our name. Panorama Village is positioned in a tight slot canyon, which is why we have such spectacular views. They're immediate and right in your face. The best part is that if you're a skier or rider of any ability, you get to experience the big views like these from anywhere on the mountain. All right. Now, everything in this shot of Taten Bowl is completely in bounds. It's controlled for avalanches and patrolled all day long. The greatest thing about Taten Bowl, other than the snow, is that you can't get lost as long as you're pointing down the mountain. Always ski and ride with a friend though, but find your own line. There's always plenty of untracked powder, even days after a big storm. All right, so if you're not into hiking with your gear, don't worry, we've got great news. This is Monster X, a beastly snowcat that's roomy enough to take about a dozen powder hunters to the furthest boundaries of our biggest terrain. The shuttle runs on Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays, and additional special dates like holidays. Just remember to pick up your special lift ticket from guest services just for a small fee. Monster terrain has 9 double black lines. So if you love steeps, open faces, endless glades like me, you'll find your happy place here for sure. But don't make the mistake of thinking it's a guided cat skiing experience, because it's not. Instead, think of the Monster X like a really cool shuttle service to some awesome big mountain terrain that you'll want to lap over and over again.
So our elevated accommodation at Panorama, when we're talking the difference between slopeside and ski in, ski out, everything is on the resort and in the confines of the resort. So slopeside accommodation is really just if you have to cross the road or click out of your ski boots or click out of your skis and walk for, 20 meters, 50 meters or something like that. That's slopeside. Ski and ski out is true ski and ski out, and there's a lot of it at Panorama. You can literally ski right up to the building, click out of your boots and put your skis in the locker and move on. We have a few different areas of accommodation, and really it's ski to your door, not to your car or your shuttle or your transportation for the day. Everything ski in, ski out at the resort. So this is a shot of the upper village building on the resort and showing a little bit of what the apartments look like inside and they all come with a full kitchen. The upper village apartments located around the Panorama Springs pools, again, ski in, ski out, great kitchen facilities, and think of getting off the slopes, going for a little après at the bar, coming back, hitting the hot pools, going up to your room, relaxing a little bit, maybe with the wine, and then maybe retiring for the evening. We have lots of live entertainment and things happening throughout the winter, but Panorama isn't the place for kind of those all-night rager parties that you see in the classic ski films. If you're looking for that, Panorama is not the place. It's for people that really enjoy skiing and want to get ready to do so the next day. Another great option is our townhomes on the resort. So if you have a bigger group or if you're looking to entertain a little bit while you're here, the townhomes have a little bit more space in them, and they're great for families. We're really excited this year to announce The Approach. The Approach is a fully refurbished inn at the base of the mountain. About $8.7 million is being spent on it. Simplified, sophisticated, and right out the door to the slopes, about 30 meters from the door to the bottom of the Mile 1 chairlift at the base. It's pretty incredible to see the transformation already happening on this hotel, and it'll be ready for December and opening day. If you look at the bottom right-hand corner, you'll see that this particular room has 2 queen beds with twin bunk beds above it. And so this is really great for families that have 6 people that want to have that occupancy in the room, or it's great for a group of 4 people that maybe don't want to share a bed. So a new option that'll be available for this year. Our lower village apartments, the Toby and the Horse Thief, are still, you can ski pretty close to the buildings, but they're a little bit further away from the slope, or you can take a free gondola access ride to them at the beginning of the day to get up to the slopes and then ski down via the Toby chair to this particular area. Ali's going to talk about some of the restaurants.
All right, so you won't find any massive mountaintop cafeterias here. European-inspired cuisine with a twist of BC log cabin and carpentry describes the intentionally intimate mountain huts here. Stop into the Alcorn cabin, which is pictured here, for some glue wine and oatmeal chocolate chip cookies. It has a cozy fireplace along with spectacular views. It might have you feeling like you'll never want to leave. The Alcorn also offers an incredible raclette, but leave your jacket outside. That's a pro tip for you guys. Anyone who's had an authentic raclette can tell you why. And there are very special après programs also available. We're the only place in the world offering a heli fondue program where you can fly up from the base, so that's the village, to the summit hut. It takes about 7 minutes and experience a cheese and chocolate fondue, and then fly back to the base just before the sun goes down. Summit Hut is also accessible by chairlift, and it's the gateway to the famous Taton Bowl. All right, our ski and ride school. So Panorama Snow School offers lessons to ages 3 and up and all ability levels. No one's too beginner or too expert. Lessons take place all over the mountain. Any area on the trail map will take you there. If you need some tips for the famous Canadian powder, our fully certified pros can show you everything you need to know. There's half day, full day, multi-day options. If you want full day instruction or just guided tips here and there, whatever you want, we can make it happen for you.
Panorama is also really lucky in that we have RK Heli Ski operating right out of the village. So they specialize in 3-run, 5-run, and private excursions right from the resort, about 160 meters from the closest chairlift. And they work really well with people that have never heli skied before too. So it's great for those people that want to get out and try that experience and go into their vast terrain. They've got 1,500 square kilometers of terrain, some of the highest drop-off points in North America, and about 700 different ski runs that they can do. They've been in business for over 45 years now. So who can go? Really anyone that is in good physical condition and that can ski a Black Diamond run. Right across the road from Panorama as well is Toby Creek Adventures. Toby Creek Adventures is a snowmobiling excursion that goes high into the alpine to an abandoned silver mine. It's a really beautiful area to go into, and no experience is necessary to go onto this tour. And they do a half day and a full day option as well. Again, Panorama, you know, if you're one of the really good options that people will do is when they're flying into Panorama, usually if they're coming from Australia or New Zealand, they're coming here for quite a long trip, not like a 4-day or a 5-day excursion. Usually it's 10 days, 20 days, or something like that. And a lot of them will travel and spend a little bit of time in Banff on the way before they get to Panorama. And we encourage that too, you know, to have that experience, shop around, try a few of the ski resorts in Banff, and then come over to Panorama and just kind of relax and no more moving around and enjoy what everything that Panorama has to offer at the resort. So that's another great option if you're looking to do a longer excursion over to this part of the world.
Awesome. Well, we hope you've been inspired to get more from the mountains here at Panorama. Thanks so much for taking time out of your day to watch our presentation. We really do appreciate it, and we hope to see you and hopefully your friends soon. Back to you, Charlie.